Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't really know what this video is going to be, if I'm honest. I literally had so many questions asking about giving birth to Ava and having life with a newborn, so I thought I would just do a little video because it's been a hot minute since I uploaded again. I literally keep disappearing. But yeah, I gave birth to my baby girl 5 weeks ago and life has just been an absolute whirlwind. I wanted to film the labour footage, I wanted to film everything, I really wanted to like capture everything, but when you're in the moment things just don't always go to plan. So I definitely didn't get any labour footage, or I didn't get any footage of her being born. It was just all so crazy. But yeah, life is good. It is absolutely exhausting having a newborn again. It's definitely been a long time since I've had the boys being this little. So yeah, she's just literally sleeping in the Moses basket next to me in a minute, so I'll show you her in a second. But yeah, this video is just going to be me telling you a little bit about my birthing experience with Ava, and yeah, just what it's been like the last 5 weeks. Yeah, she's nearly 5 weeks, a couple of days she'll be 5 weeks old. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little rundown to sort of get me back into filming again, get me back into yeah, being on YouTube again. So yeah, I just thought I would do this cute little video. I'm literally just on my sofa, I've thrown a throw over it and I'm just gonna film here because it's just easier than trying to set up everything while she's sleeping in a minute. So yeah, that is the situation. If you do like the video guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this birth story. So I was in labour for a long time actually. So Ava Louise is my third child. So obviously I have the two boys, Tyler, Liam, and then I've got Ava Louise now as well. And everyone told me afterwards that the third child is the most difficult, like labour, and I was like, no one told me that until afterwards. But yeah, she was definitely a lot more complicated than both the boys. Tyler was 2 weeks late and induced, so I had the issues with being induced and stuff, but other than that, a straightforward delivery and perfectly healthy. Liam, I had complications with him throughout my scans and stuff, because on his first scan he had a cyst on the brain, which dissolved itself by the time he came to full term. He was 5 days late, but natural induction, and yeah, just he was nice and easy and straightforward from the time I got to the hospital, probably about 4 or 5 hours, and then he was born. So literally just gas and air for both of them. I didn't think there was going to be any issues this time. Boy, was I wrong. It was so complicated with Ava. So she was actually born on the Saturday morning, the 2nd of September, about 10 to 2 in the morning she was born, and my contractions started the previous Sunday. So there was like a good 6 days of labour and it was complicated. She was early but not premature. So on the Sunday I was 36 weeks and 6 days, so I was 1 day away from her being not premature. So when I started having contractions on the Sunday morning, I left it until Sunday evening, went into hospital about 7 p.m. because I called the midwife helpline and they asked me to come in. So I went in, and about 7 o'clock they said, yes, you're having regular tightenings. They did do an internal sort of inspection and I was 1 to 2 centimeters on the Sunday night at 7. So they said what we have to do is keep you in until midnight, because then she'll be 37 weeks and then she won't be premature, and then we can send you home. So I had to stay in hospital from 7 p.m. till midnight, just to make sure that she didn't come prematurely, because obviously I was in labour but very early stages, but we didn't know how quickly it was going to progress. So I had to stay in the hospital until midnight. They discharged me at midnight and was like, right, you can go home now, it's just normal, wait until they're so far apart and then you can come in. And I'd been having Braxton Hicks the entire month leading up to this, like the entire like the entirety of August, I was basically having really strong breasts and hips. So I knew these were contractions. Obviously it's my third child, I know what the pain's like. They were definitely contractions, and obviously I was 1 to 2 centimeters apart. So I literally just went home. It was really slow progress. I didn't feel the need to go back to the hospital until Wednesday night. So literally Monday, Tuesday, I was just trying to get on with my day, just trying to be as active, bouncing on my birthing ball, just trying to walk around loads and just trying, but I was so uncomfortable as well because she was so low down. But was just trying to progress the labour along as much as I could. And then my contractions really started to get quite close together and quite painful. I'd say about 10 minutes apart. And then I was saying, yeah, I feel like I just want to go in and get checked out, because obviously I feel like they haven't stopped in 3 days. I'm getting really tired at this point because I haven't slept at all. So yeah, it was just, I want to go in and get checked again just to see how we're doing. So Wednesday night we went back in and they were like, put me on the monitors and everything, and they were like, right, yep, your tightenings are getting more and more regular, let's do an internal inspection, see how far we're along. 2 to 3 centimeters at this point, and I was like, please let this be over, because I was so tired. I wasn't sleeping, I was contracting all through the night as well, like all through the day, all through the night. I was knackered from trying to walk around and push it along. So yeah, I was just absolutely exhausted. So they said at that point, they were like, right, you're not leaving this hospital without your baby. It's been too many days now that you've been contracting and having tightenings. Like, we need to try and push this along and help you with this labour now, because it's just not progressing quickly enough. So Thursday, I think they basically kept me on monitors, got me to walk around in between that. I was on monitors every sort of 4 hours, and then walking around in between that, trying to push it along. And then they said, right, we need to step in now. So Friday, no, was it Thursday afternoon? I should have written all this down because there's a lot to remember. I think it was Thursday evening, actually. Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, actually. They decided to give me a pessary. So that's like the induction. You can either get like an induction gel or like a pessary type thing. So they put it as a pessary. And then I started getting really strong contractions, like really hitting me and knocking me for 6, and it was so painful. And I was like, ah! I was like, it all came flooded back to me, just how painful this was going to be. And I was nowhere near getting ready to push yet. And I was like, this is, I remember now, like, this is gonna get so bloody painful. So I was contracting all through the night, really painful. Friday comes around and they're getting worse and worse and worse, but to a point where I'm only still 4 centimeters. So they were like, right, we need to just get you to a position where we can break your waters. And my contractions were getting to a point where I needed gas and air. They were getting so painful and so close together. Like, I was literally 3-4 minutes apart, and I was like, they're so intense. Like, I'm barely getting a break because they're lasting about a minute. So I'm only having like a 2-minute break in between each contraction, and it's still not progressing any further. So I was like, this is too much, help me. So yeah, so they took me up from the ward up to the birthing room. Like, so this is where you're staying tonight, this is where you're going to give birth, we don't need to move you around anymore. You've got the gas and air, which was so good. I've missed that stuff. I'm hilarious on gas and air as well. So it was just a lot of fun. I had my partner and my mum as my birthing partners. So they were amazing as well. But they were laughing their heads off at the stuff I was coming out with on this gas and air. And I always like to try and keep everyone else sort of entertained. Even though I'm in pain, everyone's sort of worried about me, or however it is, everyone's tired, everyone's been through this, like my mum and my partner have been through this with me for the week, just helping me and supporting me through it. So everyone was tired. I was just like, right, it's coming soon, we're having this baby soon, like let me just try and make them laugh. And I was talking to the midwives and they were like, oh yeah, we get like a couple of people that are funny on gas and air, but never during the contractions, only sort of on the outskirts of them. So I was like, right, challenge accepted. So I tried to make everyone laugh, and I was like, I'm going to be the first person these midwives have seen having comedy throughout a contraction. So I had a really bad contraction. I was puffing on the gas and air. I literally built up all the willpower to come off the gas and air, and I was just like, Englishman, Irishman and Scottishman. And yeah, the whole room was laughing, and I was like, smashed it. Just like the first line of like a classic joke just to try and break the ice, and yeah, that sort of eased everyone's mood. And even though it was quite intense and I was in a lot of pain and everything else, it was like, right, let's just try and make this as light-hearted as we can so that we can all get through this in one piece. So yeah, I was on gas and air, was in the birthing room, and yeah, it eventually became time Friday evening, about 7ish, I'd say 7-8 o'clock. They came and they broke my waters, which obviously progressed it really quickly. I mean, I literally, considering they broke my waters at like 8 o'clock, say, and by 2 I'd had her, so it all of a sudden went from 4 centimeters to 10 that quickly, which doesn't sound very quick, but it did seem fast. It seemed like every time they were checking me I was up like 2 centimeters. They're all right, now you're 6, now you're 8, now you're 10, push. So it was quite intense, but I was on monitors to monitor her heart rate once they'd broken my waters, but they had a new machine and they were struggling to read her heart rate, and they said that her heart rate kept dropping, but they didn't know if it was her or the machine. So everyone started getting really quite panicked in the room, and I was being sort of rolled from side to side during contractions, during really painful contractions, getting knocked off the gas and air, so I was literally just feeling them fully, and it was so much pain. And they were rolling me from side to side to try and get her heart rate monitored. So then another doctor came in, another team came in, and then they decided to put the heart monitor on her head. So they, like, it's like a little, I don't know whether they screw it or something, but they said she's gonna have like a little scab, and she's still got like a little scab on her head from it. So she had to have it put on her head so they can monitor it, and then her heart rate dropped. So they're like, right, it's time to, and then it all just, yeah, it was just, it's very hazy to me. I wasn't really with it, let's be honest. I was in so much pain where sometimes I wasn't able to have the gas and air, and that was the only painkiller I was having. So yeah, I was just in immense pain, and it just kept, I just kept feeling like I needed to push, and they'd only said I was 8 centimeters, so I was like, right, I've got to hold off. So I was trying to hold back, push in, and everything else, and it was just, it was crazy. I just felt like everything just went like blurry, like it was just all such a rush. But it got time to push finally. I think it was like 2 pushes and she was out. She was 7 pounds 1 ounce, and she was absolutely perfect, but they weren't weighing her or anything. So then I started to get worried, and I was like, right, why are they not weighing her? Why are they not like measuring her or doing, like, normally they do the head circumference and all that kind of stuff? They weren't doing any of that. They were focused on me, and I was like, right, what's wrong? Like, what is wrong now? There was some bleeding, there was, my placenta wouldn't come away, there was a few issues with me, so obviously they weren't fully focused on her, which obviously stressed me out, because I was like, is she okay? And they were like, she's absolutely fine, we need to worry about you now because we can't get your placenta out. Various people came in, there was teams rushing in and out with the bleeding and the placenta not coming away. It was all a rush, so they were like, we've got to take you down to theatre. So they took me to the operating theatre. I had to have an epidural, which really bummed me out, because that was one thing I didn't want unless it was an emergency and needed to be done, which obviously in this case it did. But to have got to the point where I'd pushed her and delivered her just on gas and air, even though it was quite hard, and then because of complications, needing to go to theatre and needing to have an epidural, just it didn't seem fair. I was like, after all of that, like, but I have to be grateful that I'm so lucky and that it was just a simple epidural, a simple sort of procedure that I needed to remove the placenta and stop the bleeding and everything, and then everything was okay and I'm okay. I'm safe, she's safe, everyone's happy and healthy now, so I have to be grateful for that. But like I say, it was just the fact that it wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to have an epidural. I'm petrified of needles, and the thought of having an epidural petrified me, and I was crying and shaking, and yeah, it wasn't a good look for me because I was like, it's just not what I wanted. But it's okay, it is what it is. These things happen, and it just goes to show how different every single one of your children can be, and how different every single one of your labours can be. It can be completely different. It's crazy. So yeah, so I went into theatre, had my placenta removed, had whatever they did, I can't remember fully what they did to me, but had all that sorted, and then had to do the recovery of epidural. Was horrible. Like, not being able to move your legs, not even being able to like scoot yourself up in bed. Like, it's terrifying to be paralysed. Like, I can't even explain it. If you've never had that kind of sensation of not being able to move certain parts of your body, it's terrifying. And it came back within, I'd say, about 4 to 6 hours. I was up walking around and everything. I had to have a catheter in and that, so that was fun. My first ever catheter, and oh my gosh, they are horrific. They're absolutely horrific. But yeah, no, so that was Saturday morning at 2 AM. I think I was out of it. 2 AM she was born, or like 10 to 2 she was born. By 4:15 I was out of theatre and in recovery, and then we literally just made our way through the day. She had her health checks and stuff. I got my catheter out. I was able to walk around again and feel my legs. It was weird when the feeling came back though, like this, like my right knee I could feel, and I could sort of twitch my right knee but nothing else was moving, and then I could feel like a couple of the toes on my left foot, and it was coming back in odd patches. It was really surreal. But yeah, she had her health check, she had her hearing testing done, she had everything done during the day, and they released us, they discharged us at like 11 PM in the night, and I was like, this is crazy, like who does this? But I had to take some injections and like a sharp bucket home and all this for sharp, like, you know, the disposable buckets for sharps. So I had to take needles home. I had to inject my tummy for like the next 9 days, I think it was, after that. So they gave us all this stuff to go home with, all these medications and things like that, which was crazy to me. Didn't have any of that with the boys. Literally, I was just drinking a cup of tea and they were like, yeah, it's time for you to go home, that's sweet. With this one, it was like, right, you've got your discharge papers, you've got all these leaflets, you've got this medication, you've got to do this, this, this. And yeah, it was a bit more full on this time, but yeah, we went home at 11, or I think it's about 10:30, we got home by 11. And then yeah, settled in for our first night at home together, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. So Ava Louise is a couple of days away from being 5 weeks old. She is absolutely amazing. I am breastfeeding, for anyone that wanted to know how I was feeding her. So we are just exclusively on breast milk at the moment. I really want to know if you guys have any questions about that, because since I've been talking to people about it, like so many questions come up. I'd be happy to do like a breastfeeding video answering any questions you guys have about it. It's been quite an easy journey for me and Ava. I definitely struggled with the boys. I didn't have as good an experience with the boys and breastfeeding, but when it came to Ava, I think it's been pretty smooth sailing. I haven't had pains or anything like that, like I did with the boys. I haven't had any problems with her latching. We did on the first day, actually, saying that for anyone that struggles at first, I'm a good sort of story for that, because she really wasn't latching. She was so small. To me, she was really small. Like, she was 7'1", Liam was 8'6", Tyler was 9'7". I've never had a baby this small. So she was struggling to latch. So we were actually expressing and using little tiny baby syringes to get it in on the first day, but by the time I went home in the evening she was latching. So don't give up straight away, and definitely persist with it if it is something that you struggle with at first. Definitely try and persist if you can, because I was really deflated. I think obviously I was still running on adrenaline after the birth, but I was so deflated and I felt like I was failing already when I couldn't do it. But yeah, don't feel deflated if you do have to express and syringe feed first. You can still get it to work. And guess who's waking up? Speak of the devil. I think we said her names too many times. It's like Beetlejuice, she'll just appear. Hey, oh, baby girl. Say hello. You want to say hello, or do you want to sleep a bit more? Let's get you into a comfy position. Oh, baby. Hello, are you awake? Or are you sleeping? Do you want to go back to sleep? So yeah, we are breastfeeding. She changes her pattern quite regularly. It can go from every hour to every 3 hours to every 2 hours. It's definitely very choppy and changey, isn't it? We haven't got a settled routine yet, but she does go for longer gaps in the night where we sort of have calmer settings in the night, and she's upstairs in her cot. So during the day she falls asleep in her bouncer sometimes, or she'll sleep in the Moses basket that's next to my sofa, and then in the night she'll go up and she'll sleep in her cot with her mobile and everything. So it's a lot calmer, so she does tend to have bigger windows of sleeping and bigger gaps before she wakes up in the night, which is good. So we get in there with a nighttime routine, and I tend to bath her, change her, or top and tail her, not bathing her every day, but I'll either bath her or top and tail her, get her changed, and sort of setting out a little routine for her. So she's getting better at the night. During the day it's just whenever she needs it, I'm there. Like whenever she needs to feed, I've got her covered, and yeah, we just are taking it every day as it comes. But I feel like the days and weeks are just flying by. Like I can't believe she's nearly 5 weeks old already. I last had her weighed a week ago and she was £9.9 already. Just before she was 4 weeks she was £9.9. So I've got another couple of weeks to go until... What's up, sweetie? I've got another couple of weeks to go until she gets weighed again by the health visitors. But we're all signed off from the midwives now, so we don't have to go back to see the midwives. So now it's just sort of GPs for baby checks and health visitors for development checks. But she's just so cute. I just can't believe she's mine. It's so fun, isn't it? We love having time together, don't we? I'm enjoying my maternity leave. I think at the moment we're planning for me to go back to work sort of the end of May, beginning of June, but we are completely going to decide that nearer the time and see when we're ready. And the latest I can go back is like mid-August, so I've got up until mid-August if I want to. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to leave you. Look at your little newborn scrunch. Oh my god, it's precious. That's one thing I've missed, is like the little newborn scrunch. Little newborn scrunchy face. Say hello, Ava. Say hello. Say hello. You're so grunty. Like a little piggy. Little grunty pig. Honestly, she's such a time waster. I could literally sit and watch her all day, every day. The other day when she was sleeping, I was like, right, I've got to do my washing up. I need to try and prep dinner for me and the boys. I was like, I was like, I need to try and prep dinner, I need to try and do the washing up, I need to just run a hoover around because it was getting really messy. And instead I just sat and cuddled her for her entire nap. So that is what happened. You are just so precious. We've had newborn acne, newborn rashes. She's definitely had a lot of little bits and pieces with her, but she's absolutely good as gold. I do feel like she's getting a bit colicky at the minute. In the evening she's definitely feeling like she's getting a bit colicky. Tyler had it, Liam didn't, so I'm like, oh, I don't know which way it's gonna go, but I'm really hoping she doesn't, because it's not nice to see any baby crying. It's horrible. Oh baby. Oh. I just love her so much. She's just so yummy. You're just so tasty, aren't you? But I'm definitely going to try and include her in loads more videos. I'm excited for Vlogmas this year, and just show little bits and pieces of her throughout the month of December for her first Christmas. Just trying to show you guys her. She's so cute. To see. But yeah, she pulls some really funny faces at the minute. We're not getting any smiles yet, but hopefully soon we'll have some little smiles out of her. At the minute, if she does smile, it's just weird. Yeah, life with a newborn is exhausting. It's absolutely draining. I thought it'd be easier where the boys are older, and they do really help me out, to be fair. I mean, they're not changing nappies or anything like that, but they are amazing with her. They love cuddling her, they love shaking her little black and white rattles and stuff around. They love playing with her on the playmat, and they love watching her do like little bits of tummy time. She's not doing too much at the minute because she's only sort of got like these little 5 to 10 minute windows of being awake at the minute, so I'm trying to get her doing a little tummy time and playing with her little playmat. But other than that, she's literally just flat out sleeping unless she needs something apart from them little windows. But yeah, the boys are just constantly asking to hold her and kiss her and be with her, which is amazing, and I do love how much they love their little sister. So I love how the kids have all blended together. I think it's really, really cute. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see her grow up, and I can't believe I've got a little girl finally, and it literally makes my heart so happy. Just sitting watching her, I could literally watch her all day. Love it. Just love newborn cuddles. But yeah, I'm excited. I'd love to know what kind of content you guys want to see. I've got some amazing sort of toys and things from Love Every, so if you guys want to see me sort of unbox that little package, it's got some really great sort of sensory toys for 0 to 12 weeks, so I'd love to show you guys her playing with those kind of things and little things like that. But I'd love to do a Q&A as well, so this was sort of like a just little me sprouting out my story of giving birth to her. But if you guys want to know anything in particular, please let me know any questions you have for me down below. I'd love to sit with a cup of tea and just go through them and answer any questions you guys have for anything. It doesn't just have to be about me and Ava, it could be about the boys or life in general, work, anything you want to ask me questions about, my plans for YouTube, ask away. I do have some advent calendar unboxings coming. I haven't been able to plan or do anything as much as I have in previous years, but this is definitely my like coming back year, and then next year will be my full-on advent calendar year, I think. But I'm gonna come back this year with a handful of advent calendar unboxings for you, and also my Vlogmas, so I do really hope you guys will stick around and enjoy those. And yeah, that is all from us. She's gonna wake up in a little bit and want feeding for sure, so I'm just gonna enjoy my little cuddles with her. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Thank you so much for sharing my little pregnancy journey and everything with me as well. I do share a lot more sort of updates over on my Instagram. I'm not as regular as I should be on YouTube, but if you do want sort of up-to-date pictures or like just to know what I'm up to, then head over to my Instagram and follow me over there. Just yeah, it's a lot more up-to-date than YouTube is at the minute. And yeah, that is all from us. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we will see you soon for another video. Say bye bye. Bye.